for some misinterpretation of my quietude. I remember at our strategic planning meeting, listening to the majority of this body talk about how much the mayor and I critique people in public, and that was a bad thing. And I didn't totally agree, but I've taken the feedback to heart and tried to honor the body and try myself to be more judicious and deliberate in my feedback. I have opinions about what the mayor did. I spoke with the mayor the day it happened, live, face-to-face. I told him what I thought. I don't need to grandstand in the papers. I don't need him to apologize to me. I don't need to get him to apologize to me in public. His relationship with Tom and the rest of you is what his relationship with Tom and the rest of you is. I think it's odd that we're asking for an apology like our feelings are hurt. It's pretty clear what happened, and I'm also pretty clear we're going to have a great police chief, and I'm also pretty clear that Tom's clear that that's important to us. But let me broaden this discussion a little bit, because I find the contradiction to be the problem, the bigger problem. Not too long ago, we were having a discussion about city manager review, and one or more of my colleagues proposed, not that just the five of us do the review, but that entry-level personnel review our city manager. If that's not an undermining of authority, I don't know what is. Not too much farther back, another of my colleagues proposed live here, I should say not proposed, orchestrated in the middle of a budget discussion after we had gotten feedback, direction, an opinion from our city manager. The city manager's employees were invited to the microphone to see if they agreed with the city manager. Live, right here, right over the microphone, right on TV. If that's not an undermining of authority, I don't know what is. Those are things that I have disagreed with when the time was appropriate. Some of them have been in private, some of them have been in public. I'm sitting here tonight, I'm going to add one more. About a month ago, one of my other colleagues did something I felt was also inappropriate in the public eye. I called him directly. I contacted him directly, He disagreed. He went about his business, did it the way he did. I continue to disagree. We'll have that discussion when it's appropriate, when we revisit our strategic plan document, and we'll sort it out. I think the display of what is right when it's convenient to one's rightness is what aggravates me the most. I'm certainly not perfect about it, but I darn know that I consistently talk about it, regardless of whether or not I happen to be friendlier or not with the gentleman who is pursuing it. I think that the contradiction is what is disgusting. That we 1 minute would suggest that a junior person who'd been on the block here for months or less be a part of the review, and that undermining of our city manager's authority is somehow different than this, under cloak of darkness no less, is the problem. So I welcome having this discussion, but I don't welcome it in with an individual issue in mind, because that's not really what's going on. Let's have the discussion, but let's have it about all of the things. Let's have it about the other items. Let's have it about the hours and hours and hours. I'm not joking, dozens of hours that we directed our staff to do work that favored one resident over another in a battle between a construction project on residential properties. Hours of staff. That doesn't get handled up here. You want to talk about an undermining of my authority? You want to talk about an undermining of my authority, of our authority? And I'm not saying hours like 12. I'm saying do a public records request and see the emails about the property down at about the 500 block, and you will see dozens and dozens of hours of work on our staff's time. Was that appropriate? No. Have I raised it and complained about it? Yes. Was it here? Yes. Was I probably shouted down because I spoke? I critiqued a colleague in public? Yes. Am I trying to do better about that personally? Yes. Is it appropriate? Absolutely not. So I'm all for critiquing the mayor, and I have done it personally, but let's be clear. Let's start critiquing the total process and fix it.